Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Dora the Explorer's house. We're going a little bit back in time for this one. Here the house is from all of the different angles that you might possibly want to view it from. This house is relatively small, so what I've done is I've kind of padded the garden around with loads of wildlife and plants and all sorts of colourful things that you'd expect to see in Dora's world. The only reason that I made this was once again because you guys have requested it, so please do keep up those suggestions down there in the comments. I really do appreciate that. And by the way, if you do enjoy these sorts of builds, the cartoon series, please do remember to smack that like button. It really helps me out. It really lets me know that you guys want to see more, and it inspires me to build more cartoon related builds and make sure that they do get on the channel. Without any further ado though, if you want to make this, I think I can help you out. So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some birchwood planks, some birchwood slabs, some AC wood planks, some AC wood slabs, some cyan concrete, orange concrete, yellow concrete, light blue glass, and some AC doors. We will also need all of the other materials that you can see in my inventory on the screen in front of you. So do make sure that you're able to gather all of those materials. Those are jungle tree saplings, by the way, just in case you couldn't tell from the picture. Once you have all of that stuff, you want to figure out where you want to make this thing. Dora's house will fit into a 15 block, that's 15 blocks coming across the front, by a 25 block area going towards the back of the house. This only accounts for the house. This does not account for any sort of garden you might be adding to it, or like front garden, back garden, anything. No trees, no anything. This is just the house. So if you want to make these same boundaries in your world, then you can begin on the front bottom left hand corner of those boundaries, and you want to start off with a row of 3 birchwood planks going towards the back of the house. So that's going to be 1, 2, and 3. On top of that 5th birchwood plank, you want to go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you've done that, however, you then want to come back down to the first block, the one that you just extended up front, and extend it towards the back of the house by an additional 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take that 4th block, extend it coming across the front of the house by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd blocks and add birchwood planks on top. Take the left birchwood plank, place a cyan concrete, to the right a yellow concrete, then another cyan. Place glass on top of all of that, with an additional glass on top of the center block, like so. We then want to take the most right hand, bottom birchwood plank blocks, the 4th one that we placed earlier, and we want to place a cyan concrete to the right of it, with 3 more on top. 1, 2, and 3. We then want to go right 1, up 1, right by 2, 1, 2, down by 1, right 1, connect down to the ground. Connect the bottom of the door together using birchwood planks. Then place an AC door backwards on the center block. We might actually want to place that elsewhere, but the idea is we now want to place orange concrete all around the AC door, and this will give us the impression that the door is nice and orange. It actually looks alright just like that. It looks quite good. And if you do want to better detail this build ever so slightly, there's like a gold doorknob to the right of the door. So an item frame simply with a block of gold inside of it will suffice for a gold doorknob next to the door. Take the bottom right hand side of the door and go right of the bottom right hand side of the door, the last blue concrete block that you place. Go right of it by 5 using your birchwood planks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th blocks and extend them upwards using your birchwood planks. Take the left hand block, place a cyan concrete on top of it, to the right of it a yellow concrete, to the right of that a cyan concrete. Place glass on top of that, with an additional glass on top of the center block. So you want to end up, once you've done all that, you want to end up with something that should look like this. And as a matter of fact, we can go one step further, actually just one step further, and we can take the 5th birchwood plank that you placed and we can extend it towards the front of the build by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can then go up on top of that fourth block by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can also take that block on the floor and extend it towards you by 2. 1, 2. Connect the most outward birchwood plank blocks together using birchwood slabs to create a small step. We then, starting from behind the birchwood slabs on the left hand side, we're going to go right, and all we're going to do is we're going to place a row of cyan concrete, yellow, cyan, yellow, cyan, yellow, so on and so forth until we reach the opposite side of the build. We want to end up with a colour pattern that should look exactly like that. It doesn't look too bad whatsoever. And we're just going to place a few rows of birchwood planks behind this just to create a floor, basically. It's just a floor that we're creating for the porch of Dora the Explorer. And if you do want to, once again, go one step further again, if you want to create some potted plants, the cyan glazed terracotta, and specifically the jungle leaves, look good for this. And if you take the first yellow concrete coming in from each particular side of the porch, chuck a glazed terracotta behind the yellow, and chuck an oak leaf on top of that, then you end up with what I think are two pretty nice plant pots. And if you want to be factually correct as well, then you can even chuck an acacia table or even an orange sandstone table. And you can, I think it's red sandstone, but whatever, it's orange. And you can place like a small table in front of the left window using two connecting upside down stairs. And it will make a nice little porch effect. And what you can even do to once again keep going one step further is you can connect the porch together using your birchwood planks in such a manner as this. You can connect the left hand side to the right hand side if you really wanted to. However, we're now going to move it towards the left hand side of the build, and continuing on from where we left off oh so long ago, we want to take this birchwood plank block. You may remember that we did the row of 1, 2, 3 and 4. Well, we want to take this fourth block and we want to go behind it by 4 using the birch wood. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Take the last 3 blocks and place birch on top. 1, 2, 3. Take the left hand side and place a cyan concrete. Place a yellow concrete to the right with a cyan to the right of that. And grabbing out the glass again, we want to place a layer of glass on top of that with an additional glass on top of the center block. We then want to take that row of 4 birchwood planks that we placed, and we want to take that 4th plank and extend it backwards by 9, once again using the birchwood plank. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Place birchwood planks on top of the last 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. Then place on top of the last birchwood plank that you place, on top of the row of 3 birchwood planks that you place, going left to right, place a cyan concrete, yellow concrete, cyan. Place glass on top of that, extending up the center block. You guys know the drill here. We then want to take the last birchwood plank block in our row of 9, and we want to extend it backwards by a further 2. 1, 2. On top of that second block, we want to go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We then want to go right towards the front by 1. Do an upright diagonal, right by 1. Do an upright diagonal, right 1. Upright diagonal, right 1, upright diagonal, right by 3, 1, 2, 3. Then do a bottom right diagonal, right 1, bottom right diagonal, right 1, connect down to the ground. And what you should find, surprisingly enough, is that we connect all the way back to where we just first started, and that is the shape that you're actually looking for. So that's what you want the side of your house to look like, ladies and gentlemen. And what you can actually do is, just because we'd have to do it later anyway, you can fill this entire side in using birch wood planks. That's right, you can just fill in the entire side, birch wood planks. It'll look nice and full, great color. You guys will see what I'm talking about. That's exactly how it has to be. Now, if you have looked at this from the front of the video, you will notice it's looking a little bit bare, but it is missing a roof and some leaves. Once you've got that sorted out, we can now move on to the next bit. So, coming to the back of the house now, guys, coming towards the back of the house, we want to take the very bottom backhand birchwood plank block, and we want to go left of this block. We actually want to go left of this block by 4, coming across the back of the house. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we want to place on top of the first 3 blocks an additional row of birch. 1, 2, 3. On top of the left block, a cyan, then a yellow, then a cyan. Place a row of glass on top of that, with an additional glass on top of the center block, just like every other window. We then want to take the very bottom left-hand birchwood plank block, the row of 4 that we placed, and we want to go left of that birchwood by 1 with the yellow concrete, place an additional yellow on top of it, then go up on top of it with the cyan, yellow, cyan. Go left with the yellow, cyan, yellow, cyan. Go down with the yellow, cyan, then the yellow. Then you can actually just connect it down to the ground using whatever block you want. And you also want to connect the bottom of this together using birchwood planks. You also want to create a split up the center using white concrete, like this. You also want to place glass underneath the 2 top yellow concrete blocks like this. And what you also want to do is you want to take this birchwood plank block that we have up at the top near the window, this one, on the right hand side. You want to extend this over using your birchwood plank, and then you want to extend it downwards to the ground, creating a shape which should look very much like this. Feel free to fill in the rest of this particular side of the house. This is the back part of the house, or at least part of it. What we also want to do is take the back bottom left hand corner of the house, or the back bottom right hand corner of the house, and we want to extend it towards us by 2 using birchwood planks. We want to do 1 and 2. Then we want to do 2 bottom right diagonals, so like 1, 2 outward diagonals. Then you want to do the same from the opposite side. You want to do 1 and 2, then do 2 diagonals, connect them together. And for whatever reason, the inside of this shape is white, so I have opted to use white concrete. it's also possible to find some chairs and stuff back here, so if you want to dot around maybe like a couple of acacia wood chairs, maybe something like that, then that is something that would absolutely be suitable back here. What we also want to do is we want to take the bottom back left hand corner of the house. I know it's kind of difficult to identify these blocks, but this block of the house, you guys will be able to find it no issue. And you want to extend this coming towards the front of the house by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Then coming across to the side of the house, you want to extend it to the left by 1. Leave a gap of 2, but we're going to knock out these 2 blocks and place birchwood inside of them anyway. And then on top of this block next to the gap 2, you will actually want to place a birchwood plank. And we also want to go up on top of that plank. We actually want to make a row of birchwood. And we're going to go up on top of this block by 7 actually. So we're going to go up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just like that. We're going to go left of that 7th block by 1 towards the front of the house. We're going to do an up left diagonal, left 1, up left diagonal, left by 3, 1, 2, 3. Then a bottom left diagonal, left 1, bottom left diagonal, left 1. Connect all the way down to the ground. So you'll end up with a shape that should look exactly like this. It's very familiar to the opposite shape that we have over there on the other part of the house. We also want to connect the bottom of this part of the house together like this. But then we want to, on top of this row that we've made, this birchwood plank row, starting from the right hand side, going left, we want to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 birchwood, and place on top of the last 3 birchwood, you want to, starting from the left hand side, you want to place a cyan concrete, to the right of that a yellow concrete, to the right of that a cyan concrete. Then going left of the cyan concrete on the left, you want to place a row of 1 and 2 birchwood planks. Then still going left, place a cyan concrete, yellow concrete, cyan concrete. Then, as with all of the other windows, same thing all around, we want to place a row of light blue glass on top of them, extending the center blocks upwards each by 1, like this. We can then, once you've done that, continue to fill in the entire rest of this particular side of the house. You can just completely fill it in using your birch wood planks. That's all you gotta do, just completely fill this particular side of the house in using your birch wood planks. We're trying to fill in around the windows now, and honestly, it is acting a little bit difficult, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. And once all of this is done, ladies and gents, once all of this is done, there we go. We also want to kind of like form the roof a little bit for the back part of the house. So to do this, all we want to do is like come into the back of the house now. I know that this is a bit confusing, guys. I'm sorry that it's a bit confusing. We want to take the top back left-hand corner of the back of the house, like where we have these double doors. It's this corner block, and we want to extend a block backwards from this block. We then want to do like an up left diagonal coming towards the back of the house. Then we want to go left by one, like this. And then we can actually just like place an up left diagonal again, but then we could connect that diagonal all the way to the left hand part of the house. And then all we have to do is kind of like fill this side in. But we do have to remember that on the back here we do have doors. So we're going to place a double door of acacia here on top of these two inbuilt birchwood why am I blanking on this? Birchwood planks. We're going to place glass above these, and on top of the left-hand glass, we're going to place a cyan concrete, and on top of the right-hand glass, we're going to place a yellow concrete. However, with all of that being done, we can then just completely fill in this particular corner of the house, this back corner of the house. We can just completely fill it in using our birch wood planks. So it's just going to end up looking exactly like this. So that's what we kind of want to end up with. I'm sure that you guys will be able to manage that without too many problems. Perfect. So, now that all of that is done, that is a large portion of the house complete. All we gotta do now, really, for the most part, just complete the house part of this, is we've got to add on the roof. The roof, kind of important, it's semi-important, so what are we gonna do to complete this roof, you might be wondering to yourself. Well, we are going to start off, how do we even start this, guys? It's kind of irritating. We'll start off on the front of the house, right? So on the front of the house, coming across the top front of the porch, we are going to place a row of acacia wood slabs coming out of the front of the house across the front of the porch like this. The acacia wants to extend out left and right, each by one, wants to overhang the house. And then underneath that row of slabs, we want to, starting from the very left-hand side or the right-hand side, we want to add a slab underneath every other acacia wood block. So we are looking for this sort of effect like that. That's how Dora's roof looks. Don't ask me why it's made that way. I wish it wasn't. But oh well, what can you do? So that's how the roof looks. But here's the deal, right? So now we want to take the very left-hand side of the acacia slabs, and we want to take this, what is now a plank block. We want to extend the plank backwards by one. We want to take the up half of backwards by one, then up one using the slabs, then back one, up one, 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 then back one, up one, and you'll find that that is kind of the center of the house. If it's not the center of the house, which is kind of, well, actually it is, that's the center of the house, including the porch and stuff. That's the center of the roof. We then want to place a solid plank to the left of that. But then we want to take the bottom left-hand side of the plank, and we want to place an acacia wood slab with one underneath, then left one, down one, left one, down one, left one, down one, left one, down one. So sick of saying this. Left one, down one, left one, down one, left one, down one, left one, down one, left one. And that will poke out of the side of the, or at the very least, it'll poke out of the back side of the house. What you can then do, it's very boring, is you can then take the acacia slab and you can extend it coming across the back of the house, although it is different for the back of the house. You can't really do that. And the reason being is the roof is a weird shape on this side of the house, right? So the roof is a weird shape. the part of the house that kind of like dips in here has its own subset of roof. So the ACS slab can overhang to the left by one. But then we've got to create the same sort of roof pattern that we have everywhere else. So like we'll extend it up, back one, up one, back one, up one, back one, up one, then back one, up one, and then, well, I mean, we can't, well, we'd just place it on here, I guess, and then back one like this. And then what we can do is we can then extend that over to the left, right? And then make sure it overhangs the back of the house. And then we can do something to, actually what we'll do is we'll extend this block over, and then maybe we'll even place like one underneath like this, so you can see that the roof's continued on like this, and now it's on the opposite side of the house. But then what we've got to do is we've got to create the same sort of effect that we have over there, over here. So we've got to extend the blocks backwards and up one like this until we eventually reach the apex of the roof like we did on the other side. Then we've got to place an ACEA plank, and then we've got to use this exact same recipe to then place like a slab coming down and left from that plank, and then down one, left one, down one, so on and so forth until we eventually reach the opposite side of the porch that we started on. And once all of that's been done, once you've reached that side of the porch, once you have a frame for the roof, you can see why the roof is just a little bit tricky. You then simply want to connect these slabs together from one side of the roof to the opposite side of the roof. So you just want to connect the pokey up slabs together, for a lack of a better term. So you can see that instead of having a traditional, very simple rows upon rows of diagonal blocks, either made from solid blocks or stairs, that we just want to take half measures. We simply want to take slabs. I almost said half slabs, but that's really irritating to say that. I don't know why. You want to take these slabs and you want to half a row at a time. Simply increase the size and pointiness of the roof. I'm sure that you guys have gathered what you have to do. I'm sure that you guys saw this coming, but that is what it wants to look like once it's done. It looks quite nice, it looks good, and it fits very well with Dora's roof. Dora doesn't have a very high roof at all. As a matter of fact, her roof's very weird. It's textured in such a way that she has you can see very visible roof tiles, which are kind of like a convex shape. I don't know how better to explain it, but like it's a very weird shape to replicate in Minecraft, and it's possible, but it looks bad. Trust me, I tried both versions of the roof. This is by far the best looking one. I also tried a variety of materials. I also tried to make the house out of yellow blocks rather than the birch. I also tried to make the roof out of different colors, different shapes. I tried to mix and match some of the colors. I tried to make it in the nicest way possible, and every single time it comes back to the fact that this, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as we've filled in the front of the house, because we do have to fill in the front of the house using birchwood planks once we filled in the roof, this is by far the best looking version of Dora the Explorer's house that I could make. I wish I could do a better one. I wish it were possible, but for me, this is the best combination of colours, best combination of materials that I could absolutely come up with that I thought looked the best. And I think that it's actually a really cool version of her house. And hopefully those of you guys that may or may not have been into / are into Dora, I'm sure that you guys will agree, or at least I hope you would. It's a very cool looking house. It's best if you light up the inside of the porch, by the way. The inside of the porch can get very, very dark. So whether you want to come up with a better solution than this, than just like adding literal just like torches to the inside of the porch, then you guys can. But that'll work just fine. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Dora's house. Now, there are more ways to make it look a little bit nicer, but I'm not going to show you the tutorial for the garden and stuff because it's so simple and it's very, very time consuming. But you do need all of the materials that I showed you at the start of the video. Let me warp back to the original version of Dora's house and I can show you what you would want to do if you do want to do a garden very much like the one you saw at the beginning. Back in a moment. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the master version of Dora's house. As you can see, it varies a little bit from the version that we just saw. The main things that I would add, if I were you, would be a path number one. A path, this one looks boring and it looks a bit bad, but it as closely resembles the actual cartoon as you can get. So a path that is about as wide as the actual door itself, made of stone and cobblestone, will look great in front of the build. I would also highly suggest adding a lot of bushes around the house using either oakwood leaves, jungle leaves, your favorite leaf. Just add a lot of bushes using a variety of concrete blocks to furnish the bushes with what either looks like berries or flowers. Also add as many trees, preferably jungle trees, as you're as comfortable as adding around the house. So a lot of bushes, a lot of trees, a lot of color, specifically color, really adds to the house. Now, I didn't want to do a tutorial for this last bit because yours wouldn't even look the same as mine. Not even a little bit. I can only show you the sort of thing you're looking for when adding bushes and colors and trees to your house. Yours wouldn't be the same as mine, by the way, not because like I'm better at doing this or anything stupid like that, just simply because you do it in a random nature. It's not because you like place them block for block. It's not because I think I can place bushes better than anybody or anything like that. I don't want to have that come across the wrong way. What I mean is you place them in such a random way that yours would just look way different to mine and mine would look different to yours, and basically all it comes down to is add a load of trees, add some bushes, add some color to the bushes. And if you want, add some artificial grass to the house, although I'm not sure that it's the best idea, honestly. You might want to keep a more natural sort of grass, but if you do want to, add some lime and hardened clays, or terracotta as it might be now, to kind of like lighten up the area around the house. But that is Dora's house, ladies and gentlemen. I think it looks really good. I think that I've done a pretty decent job with it. It was actually a really hard house to make, whether it looks like it or not, it really was. There's a lot of little details that I had to add and take away and change to make this place work. So if you guys wouldn't mind, please do like the video. If you wouldn't mind, it really helps me out. If you like these sorts of builds, please do like the video. It really does help me out. I don't know how many times to say that. If you want to see more of my stuff, please subscribe to the channel. Then you'll get all my videos sent to your sub box if you click the little bell next to the subscription button. That makes sure that you do actually see everything. Otherwise, YouTube doesn't send you everything. It just sends you a few uploads every so often. Also, if you want to see more stuff, comment down below. Let me know what you want to see next. Do you hate Dora the Explorer? Fine. What do you guys want to see next? Let me know down there in the comments. I want to make what you guys want to see. And on top of all of that, if you want more of my content, you don't want to wait until I release the next video, check out the card system, the description below. It has so many playlists of so many builds that I've made. I doubt you've seen them all. Even if you think you've seen them all, trust me, I've made so many, especially cartoon related builds these days. I've been racking up a load of these. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.